Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey,
This thing going.
it's the Love Supreme.
Can you feel it? Can you feel the love?
Can you dig it? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So far so good. Whee! You know what it is. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Fresh edition of First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Myself, Paul B. This is
Hey.
Buddi3 Da Gawd.
Yo.
All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us on this Friday, February 9th, 2024. It is Friday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Weekend coming up. Yeah. How y'all
Does it
doing?
feel like Friday?
It doesn't feel like Friday to you?
I don't know, man. It feels like nap time is what it feels like, man.
Yeah.
We tired, boss. We tired.
Tired. But we up and we're ready.
Yeah,
Going for it. Definitely lots to talk about this show. We got a couple special guests coming on in this show as well. Tim Clark will be in the house.
Hey.
Talking about an event coming up, and also Celeste Butler, artist Celeste Butler, will be here for the first time on the show. So, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Appreciate everybody getting up early, giving us the good mornings. Pop says Friday, the gatekeepers of the weekend. Good morning, fam, and mad love from Las Vegas. Morning, Pops.
Time of the morning to you.
Yep.
Probably still like middle of the morning for you, but thanks for tuning in.
Middle of the night.
Yeah.
Tamika Johnson gives us a smiley face. What's happening? Leia Keister says, Happy Friday, yay. She didn't put no yippies in there this time.
No yippies, no yos.
No yippies or yos. It's all yay.
Yay.
That's what's up. Miss Erica Felt says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you.
Top of the morning before the babies come rolling in.
Yeah. That's what's up. Marlon Harrison says, TGIF, First Guy Family. Thank God it's Friday. That's what's up.
Man, indeed. The weekend begins. What y'all got going on? Let us know what's happening in your world.
Yeah. It's kind of rainy out here in Omaha right now. So
is it?
Yeah, kind of rainy, and they said it's gonna rain tonight again and part of tomorrow. So
hey, better than snow.
Take it any day.
Yeah,
Pop says, "Yep, looking and sounding marvelous. Thank you. Yeah, the tech is working right now. Let us know. 6:30 crew. 6:30 crew. Let us know if it's working on the radio. You guys know we have digital radio channel. Go to firstguyomaha.com, hit the listen button, or ask your Amazon Alexa to play First Guy Omaha Radio. And shout out to you guys over there checking us out. Let us know if we're coming in loud and clear. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Club 630.
Miss Mayor Sanchez in the house says the party don't start till First Guy walks in, and we probably won't leave till the thing ends. But in the meantime, in between time, you do your thing, and I'm gonna do mine. That's what's up.
That's
Bring the lyrics.
Yes. We here for the party. So come on in, grab a seat. Again, let us know how you feeling on this here Friday morning. Let us know what's going on in your world. As always, we're here to talk about some things, check in with each other, make sure everything is all right. So let us know what's on your mind. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Tell a friend to come on through. We see Facebook and YouTube working. Big shout out to all the YouTubers out there who have already hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Again, this is a reminder. Trying to get our numbers up, trying to get to that 500 mark. So again, we checked the numbers. A few people have tapped in. So big shout out to y'all. But make sure again, if you haven't checked us out on YouTube, go ahead and do that.
Please do. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Appreciate you. Good morning to you. Tamika Johnson said, "My bad. I'm in sunshine." She's trying to give us some sunshine. Smiley face.
We need it.
Need it. Beth over there on the radio channel said it's all good. It's all good on the radio channel. So we're have a rare good tech day today. It sounds like Tech is teching.
All good.
Tech is working. My cousin got a theory though. You speak too good about something too much, then it's bound to go bad. So,
hey, well, let's just keep on keeping on.
yeah. Them praise it too much.
Yeah, that part.
Tech is doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, man.
We got lots of things to talk about today. Shout out to everybody putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Definitely keeping up with the topics over there.
Man.
Seems to be just news heavy couple weeks here, not just because of the legislature, but things going on in the city. The crime page on Omaha World Herald kind of tripped me out this morning. How much stuff is going on? I was just like, man,
Oh yeah.
missing a lot. But not really missing it because we got these other subjects we are diving deep in and talking about regularly. I spoke to someone yesterday who said the one thing they like about this show too is that we don't just bring up a subject and then drop it. Over the course of a few shows, the course of a few weeks, even we'll be talking about a subject and trying to deep dive and continue on with that subject and to really gain an understanding and check out all the nuance and everything else. So I hope that what we're doing is resonating and help everybody gaining some understanding. I know I am. I know it helps me understand things better.
Oh yeah, real time, real talk, as we like to call it around here, coming to an understanding. And that's kind of the spirit of First Sky. Again, trying to reach that first level of understanding, that foundation, if you will, and then build upon that. So we appreciate everybody who, again, is always contributing, always a part of this. New listeners, I've seen a few people come through. So feel like we're growing. So we definitely appreciate all the support that we're receiving, and continuing to look forward to the future here in season 7, Love Supreme. So again, let's put some love into everything that we're doing, and we love and appreciate all y'all doing it with us.
That's right. We're gonna go ahead and kick this show off and get it started. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Friday, February 9th. Let's roll. What up? Good morning. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hall B, myself,
Hey.
Buddi3 Da Gawd, him.
Yo.
All of y'all. Appreciate everybody coming in. Anthony Rogers Wright says, Grand Rising from Houston, my dear brothers. Let's get it.
Okay. Brother, globe trotting, cloud hopping. I think it was in Detroit last time.
Yeah, man. He's all over the place. Moving and grooving.
Yeah, on the campaign trail.
Right. For those of you who don't know, Brother Wright is on the campaign trail. Dr. Cornel West for president. You sounded like him in your thing here. I can see Brother West saying it. Grand Rising from Houston, my dear brothers.
Nah.
Yeah, picking up the language. I love it. I still talk to people that still don't know what's going on, but yeah. Dr. Cornel West for man. Yeah, running for president. Kind of on this tip of like vote for somebody you want to vote for instead of lesser of two evils.
Man,
style.
Which is usually the case.
Big time. So shout out to Anthony Rogers Wright for coming on in. Appreciate you. Judy Prince gives us a morning family. Good morning, Judy. How are you doing this morning? We were just talking about you yesterday.
Hey.
Judy been with us since the beginning.
Yeah, definitely appreciate the support, especially those of you who've been with us since the Mind and Soul days, man. It's been a while. We kind of in the process of looking forward, sometimes we stop and look back like, man, we come quite a ways.
It's been a while.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of which, before we get really rolling in here, I just want to ask you how you doing today, buddy. What's going on with you? How you feeling?
Man, as I mentioned again, as you know, a little tired. We had a pretty late conversation last night, but again, still lucrative. Again, still looking forward to the future. Still excited about the things we'll be doing. Aside from that, feeling good, man. Feeling good. I'm here. It's Friday. Not really too much planned this weekend, but woke up this morning feeling good.
Woke up this morning. I said, Super Bowl this weekend. You looking forward to it?
Um, yeah, yeah.
Anybody got Super Bowl parties going on in Omaha that I can crash and eat up all your food?
Man, you remember how we get down for the Super Bowl, man? Yeah, good times.
I was thinking about, Mama God, you cooking? What's happening? What's happening? John Carter in the chat says, "Happy Friday morning. Thanks for joining us again. Appreciate you coming
morning,
in.
brother.
Yeah, let us know what your weekend is. This is Friday, so we're gonna have an extensive haps a little later. Love to hear about whether or not you guys are having a Super Bowl party. Seems to be the big thing around here because of who's playing. I guess. Well, it ain't us because we don't got a.
Well, KC is kind of the Omaha team, man. Kansas City is only three hours up the road. Right. Omaha doesn't necessarily have its own, professional football team. Mm-hmm. So,
Kansas City is kind of it.
Yeah, man.
I see you go to Walmart, you see a Husker gear right next to the KC gear.
All right, there you go. And as far as football, the Chiefs about the only ones winning in this area. So take what you can. Take what you can.
I'm with it. All right. Yeah, well, like it's a Super Bowl for a lot of different reasons to be thinking about. I'm not too big of a sports fan, but of course I'll be trying to check out the halftime show, which I just learned before like a certain time frame. I guess early '90s. It used to be like marching bands and Michael Jackson. They brought Michael Jackson in. Michael Jackson was the first one to do like a major artist halftime show, and then it became a trend. So that's interesting.
Did you hear why that was though? Again, learning things on social media. Apparently, In Living Color threw a whole Super Bowl extravaganza before that.
That's right.
And the Super Bowl lost a lot of
eyes,
a lot of viewership. Yeah, they lost a lot of eyes. They turned off that marching band and went to In Living Color because you know how they used to get down, man. You got the Fly Girls out there. DJ SW1 is going down.
Man, shout out to the Wayans family for sure.
Man, legendary family out here in the community, man. So, In Living Color.
They were like, how dare they take our Super Bowl halftime eyes away? We're going to do something. We're going to bring Michael Jackson next time.
Man, who was the biggest in the world at the time. Like that's where they went with it.
Right. But people still say Prince had the best halftime show of all time. So
his halftime show was pretty memorable.
Yeah.
Had the symbol stage.
Yeah. Miss Eckerfeld said, I stopped watching the Super Bowl when I left Oakland. No Raiders and no more gumbo parties. Well,
okay.
We didn't stop the gumbo parties, but Raiders, no more Raiders.
Oh, well, no more Oakland Raiders. They in Vegas now.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's interesting how Vegas is. I saw this video that said Vegas is the new Los Angeles. Like so many people have moved over there.
Man,
they done brought the Raiders over now. Yeah, it's a trip.
It's going down. As an LA kid, Rams or Raiders? What's more of the LA team?
Both.
Okay.
It was both, most definitely. It was Rams and a Raiders fan. But of course, you started leaning. I remember leaning towards the Raiders for a lot of different reasons. But they moved around a lot. They was Oakland Raiders, then they was LA Raiders.
Now Vegas.
Now Vegas Raiders. They've been raiding around all over the place. Yeah. Gwen Easter gives us a good morning. Appreciate that. Ron's review says El Castillo Lounge is catering at Primo's for the Super Bowl. That's what's up.
Okay.
I still need to get down to Primo's. They're the only ones that got a lowrider car show going on over there.
Like really?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, Primo's. Yep. You got to check them out. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Appreciate you. Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood. Yep.
Man, classic.
Wayne's family, man. I'm telling you.
Message. Yeah. Classic film. Classic.
Speaking of messages, definitely got some things to talk about today. We talked about this last night, man. If we were always just talking about the stuff we were talking about, it'd definitely be music, movies, maybe even some sports, stuff like that. We'll know what's going on around town too. That's very important. But we kind of found that we had to kind of start paying attention to what's going on around town because it definitely affects our life.
Yeah.
Especially local politics and crime and the police and so on and so forth. So you can't ignore it. You can't just ignore it. It's definitely something that we need to be talking about, even if we don't want to talk about it all the time. So, looking at the news, looking at the headlines this morning, I'm just like, wow, lots going on. You want to run down what's happening? What we going to talk about today?
Yeah. Of course, still continuing to look at what's going on with this off-duty police shooting in South Omaha. A few of our chat chimers has been sending us some information and making us aware of things. So we'll definitely be talking about that. Of course, there was a press conference recently talking about again whether or not they will be charged. So that decision has been laid down. So we'll be talking about that. Also, a national organization, national Latino group, Nebraska Examiner is reporting is calling for a federal investigation of the officer. So we'll definitely be getting into that. And apparently, there's another police involved shooting in Columbus, Nebraska, in which a young man also lost his life. So again, we'll kind of be getting into that a little bit. Also, still looking at what's going on with the bills. A lot of movement, a lot of activity going on in Lincoln, especially the stand your ground bill. Apparently, there was a pretty tense exchange, if you will, in Lincoln earlier this week. So it will definitely dive into that, kind of centered on race and crime. Yeah, we definitely have to talk about that. Also, Pillen's latest appointment of DHHS drawing a lot of controversy. Again, Department of Health and Human Services. Has been surrounded in a lot of controversy over the last couple of years, and now this latest appointment of the director of the department is drawing a lot of eyes. Again, we'll be talking about that, and of course, if there's anything in your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat. Definitely want to urge people to get to these superintendent meetings. Again, we're drawing close to the end of the superintendent search. Now, 4 finalists have been named. The list has been released, so we got to talk about that as well. So again, all that and more for the next 2 hours right here on First Guy Omaha in the morning. See Kimra, Marianne, a few people coming through. So definitely appreciate y'all, especially those of you who are dropping stories and friends of First Guy Omaha on Facebook. We definitely appreciate that. Call y'all our show, co-host. So yeah, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. All that good stuff. Paul B, what say you? Looks like you muted.
Bring some seafood. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Miss Erica Felt says, I haven't been invited to the gumbo party where you must bring some seafood for the pot to get in since I've been here. Oh, I know that was the criteria. I like that kind of gumbo party.
Man.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to tell everybody this, but Pops is the master gumbo maker. So might think about that next time we get together. Just tell everybody to bring their own crab legs. I heard that.
Man, Pops gumbo.
She says I did go to a good Super Bowl party in the Mayats 2 years straight though.
Okay. Man, about the Mayas. Okay, a little ways back.
Miss Pop says I was a 49ers fan because of Jerry Rice, then Dallas because of Emmett. Okay.
Okay. How about them Cowboys? I mean, 49ers, they back in it this year.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Marlon Harrison in the chat says I was watching ESPN a couple of days ago, and they were talking about past halftime shows when they said the Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson halftime show was 20 years ago. Blow my mind.
Man.
Yeah.
Man. I remember that day.
Infamous incident.
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember that time.
Yeah. 20 years ago, that is kind of a trip that it was that long ago. That's a trip. Wow.
Yeah.
Marianne Williams says, good morning, go Niners. She's a Niners fan.
Okay.
All right. Kimber says, I need hugs today. It's been an emotional, taxing week. What's going on with you?
Okay. Well,
what's happening?
First of all, thanks for the, vulnerability and sending hugs from Atlanta. Sending, good vibrations.
Most def. I know that we saw Cameron did a live stream yesterday and was kind of talking about some of the trouble in South Omaha and how it doesn't really get treated in the same way that a lot of the trouble in North Omaha gets treated. There's some shootings and things going on over there too, and Latino community and the community as a whole on the South Side is kind of up in arms about the latest off-duty shootings of the two men at the nightclub. Lots going on that people are feeling some pain about. So I'm sure that's part of what it is that's going on with you, Miss Nice. But let us know what else is happening with you. We want to give you a virtual hug at the very least.
Man.
Yeah. There it is. Miss Erica Felt says, I see Brother Kasim says, peace, fellas, peace. Good morning.
Peace.
Miss Erica Felt says, by the way, because I'm going to drop off to work soon, but your senator doesn't need to be on a specific committee to learn what's important to you. They're consistent. They still vote on all the issues.
Hmm.
Good reminder.
There you go.
Very good reminder. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Pop says, "Hey, I never thought about bring your own gumbo makings party. That'll work. I heard that. Them crab legs be expensive.
Man, yeah, gumbo get a little pricey, and scrimps and sausage and all of that.
Get up there. Get up there. Let's go ahead and get it rolling, man. Like I said, we got special guests coming in. Tim Clark will be here shortly, and then a little later on in the show, we're going to have Celeste Butler speaking about their residency over there at the Nebraska Furniture Mart, which we need to all go see. Support. Yeah. Well, how many times we go to Nebraska Furniture Mart over looking at the TV we can't afford? We can go support the sisters doing their thing over there for real. It's a big deal. So she'll come in and talk about that and a few other things. Tim Clark too. He's got an event coming up, but he's also want to talk about the 1024 money, the ARPA funds that's happening, concerns that he has on that. And we just saw Miss Erica Felt kind of reposted Willie Hamilton's talking about having a meeting as well.
Yep. So still a lot of conversation.
Lots of conversation, and I don't even know if anybody's is getting money yet. This thing is ongoing. It's ongoing. So we'll be talking about it. Clarice Jackson is in the chat. Good morning. Good morning with some sunshine. Appreciate you coming back.
Okay. Welcome back, sister.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it, buddy. What's on your mind?
Man, let's go ahead and dive into this superintendent situation.
Okay.
Definitely let your mind be free, let your voice be heard on this. Is something we've been watching pretty closely, and it seems like the saga is coming to an end. Omaha World Herald reports that, again, 4 finalists have been selected for OPS superintendent's job. The finalists include the current OPS interim superintendent, Mr. Matt Ray, who replaced Sister Cheryl Logan after she stepped down and has been filling the position ever since. But again, there are 3 other individuals who were also identified as finalists. I don't know, Paul, do you have that picture? There we go. So yeah, Matt Ray, Luis Solano, Christopher Bernier, and Thomas Ahart. To my understanding, Matt Ray is the only one that's from the Omaha community and has been in Omaha for quite some time. According to this Omaha World Herald article, has actually been working in OPS for several years. Worked as a teacher. Actually, 27 years he's been in the Omaha area. Again, he's worked from a 5th grade teacher to board secretary to chief of staff, now to interim superintendent. So he's been in the area for quite some time. I think that's a big plus personally. But it seems like every other candidate, the closest is Thomas Ahart, who was a superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, according to this article. He currently works as a consultant for the Council of Great City Schools. His previous positions include superintendent in the Des Moines district, also director of human resources in Acme Community Schools in Acme, Iowa. So he's right across the river, if you will.
Across the bridge.
Man, right across the bridge, right on the side. The OPS board.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What'd you say?
No, go ahead.
Was saying the OPS board has been searching for a superintendent since the resignation of Logan. Again, in December of 2022, Ray was appointed as interim in February of 2023. So there was a little lapse there, but a board members hired search firm GR Recruiting, which has been kind of leading the charge back in March of 2023. And the job application window apparently opened on October 17th and closed on January 16th. Of course, so we've been talking about some of the controversy surrounding this. So again, there are still public input and opportunities for the public to kind of have their concerns voiced, if you will, or voice some support for some candidates. The public is invited to meet each of the finalists on Monday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at Buena Vista High School. That's 5616 L Street. Members of the public will be able to get to know each candidate and give the school board their feedback. Ricky Smith, who's a board vice president, says we look forward to the next steps of our search and invite our community to participate. We're grateful for the input throughout the search. So there will also be opportunity for the public to interview each finalist apparently at 5 p.m. on Tuesday at the district headquarters. That's 3215 Cummings Street, also known as the TAC building. So again, if you want to meet the finalists, want to interview them, have some questions, there are a couple opportunities to do just that. So we post that in the chat. But Paul, what say you?
I got a few things on my mind about it. First of all, I keep thinking about this the search. The search has they made it a national search. We're talking about a job here that's going to be paying upwards of $250,000 a year for it, maybe even higher. So that's a different level of vetting people to come in that have the qualifications, and it just makes me think about what that superintendent job is and what it's all about and what they need to be doing. One of the concerns I remember talking to the chat chimers about before was are these people from here? Is that a big deal that they're from here, or is it a bigger deal that they have the skills to be a superintendent in a large school district? I mean, how many people have experienced that are here? So that's the reason, kind of one of the reasons why they do this national search. Seems like anything over $100,000, they're going to do a national search to get, the people who have the education and the talent for that particular job, and maybe that's more important than whether or not they're from the district. I see. Mayor Sanchez says, "Did any of the candidates go through OPS for schooling?" That's what I'm saying. It's kind of the feeling is like, do you know the area? Do you know how
Right.
how tied are you to the area? You brought out earlier that one of the candidates, there's only one candidate that has been a teacher here in town,
Matt Ray,
Matt
who's
Ray,
the interim superintendent right now.
interim now. So of course, when you're thinking about whether or not it's important how much tie they have to this community, then that's what you're thinking. But I'm also thinking about the makeup of the school system of OPS, which is 80% kids of color. So does it matter if there's a superintendent that's reflecting the neighborhoods, how many people, the makeup of the neighborhood? Will that matter? Not really sure. So Kimmer Snipes says all Matt's kids went through OPS. So there you go. You got a person that has at least some experience with this particular school system and has been working in it, and his kids are going through it. Is that a factor? What say you on that? Love to hear what everybody has to say on that. Let's see. Mayor Sanchez says, "Do any of the candidates have sensitivity training? Does the sensitivity training work?"
Man.
Kimmer says Matt Ray is my dude. Okay.
Okay. Got a cosign.
The cosign for that. Miss Erica Felt says the superintendent gets paid from us for life, so of course they want the job.
I mean, it's not a bad job as far as pay wise.
Yeah. OPS. Miss Erica Felt says OPS is 80% not white. Omaha public schools. I'm talking about the makeup of the classrooms.
Yeah.
They're mostly kids of color. Yeah, for life. I'm not sure about that. Kimber Snipe says, we just had a black superintendent. We know how the pendulum swings after black leadership. This is true. Man.
Yeah. I was definitely hoping to, I guess, looking at the pictures, just to be honest, I was definitely hoping to maybe see at least one sister up there. I would like to see more women in leadership, especially in education. That would be nice. I was definitely excited to see a sister in there when drawing a blank on her name, Cheryl Logan, when Dr. Cheryl Logan was in there. So that was pretty nice. But yeah, obviously 4 men, 4 white men. I think there's one brother in there. But I think my question is, even before I get into what I think, again, we know that there's been a lot of lack of communication, not a lot of opportunity for the public to kind of speak up. So I am wondering what criteria did the community set forth? What was important for the community? I know we're talking about, it's important for a superintendent to come from a certain size district and to have certain education and these things in the third, but what does the community care about as far as their superintendent? I know there has been opportunity for the community to say that. I think a few, chat chimers went to a couple of those meetings, like the one they had in Northwest, the one they had at North. Seemed like it wasn't a lot of people at those meetings. So I am kind of curious, what did the public say that they wanted?
Well, I don't know what the public said, but I know what chat chimers have been saying. This has been a subject that we've been on, which is the reason why I kind of jumped to that idea. See, it's important to the chat chimers that somebody is from the area. That's
Mm-hmm.
definitely been something that stood out that we've heard. Also, I have to jump in and think about what the job is, because that's also a point of confusion sometimes for a lot of people. There, we can look at the school system, say the school system is failing. Is that because of the superintendent situation? Is that because of staff, or is that because of the OPS school board? Who's to blame? Who needs to be making those decisions, and so on. Brother Kasim's in the chat saying school system is failing drastically, especially in the ghetto. I'm not saying to throw away the entire system, just that we focus on developing our own systems outside of the school system, as some of us have already begun to do. Only way we will begin to see any real change.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely am behind us doing what we need to do to focus on our own systems, but I also know that all the kids in Omaha are not going to be able to be a part of all these other alternative systems. There's still
Mm-hmm.
going to be a lot of people in OPS, and OPS needs to be tooled up as well. So that's something to consider. Clarice Jackson in the chat says, well, at least his kids went through the public school system. Most boards and superintendents send their kids to private school and then blocks choice for minorities. So I say that is a plus. So again, proximity to OPS, proximity to the neighborhoods. What kind of
Mm-hmm.
relationship do you have with OPS? Did you go through it? Did your kids go through it? Do you teach in it? I feel like these are things that are very important for what the public that we speak to has said about it. Any
Yeah.
of them hold teacher position? Rome's Reviews is asking.
Well, again, Matt Ray.
Yeah.
That's Matt Ray. He served apparently, according to this article, as a 5th grade teacher.
Okay. He's been
So
doing that
he's
for some
pretty
time
pretty
too.
much worked his way up the ranks of OPS over the course of 27 years. I'm personally feeling like Matt Ray might be the choice, but also want to see give these other fellas a chance. There's a couple of guys coming out of Florida. We've talked about Florida. We know what the Florida school system is doing. I don't want to necessarily blame them for what the governor of Florida is doing. But at the same time, you kind of look from the side eye like,
Yeah,
Florida.
We'll say hard thinker critical race theory. You know what I'm saying? There's some questions to
Yeah,
ask there.
man. Like, maybe
Um,
and maybe these are questions that people ask at these upcoming meetings.
yeah, and again, the upcoming meetings don't always bear a whole lot of the community coming out to them
Yeah.
speaking up. I'm not worried about it though, because we talk to the community on a regular basis on this, and this is a ongoing topic for a year now for us. And I kind of feel like I got the gist of what you guys are talking about. Brother Kasim is in there saying white men and women educating black children in my book will always be a no-go. Historically, have shown that it's not for us. Those of us especially that went to public school have all been taught by white folks and have been subject to European history and everything that we're talking about. Um, there's certain people that have been in there fighting to get more diverse education inside the public school system. There's been people that are fighting to get it out, and it's at the expense of the kids. So that's another thing I'm thinking about when you talk about a teacher that has moved up in the ranks and worked his way through. There's a lot of black teachers that have been doing that too. There's a lot of you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So as far as that job is concerned, and what's the criteria? Should you work your way up through the ranks, or should you come from an area that has a big school system like ours so that you have the skills for that? Wanda Lewis says, I would definitely like to know their stance on certain issues, such as
Right.
do they think teachers should be able to have guns at school, police officers, resource officers, etc.? Good questions to ask during these meetings, what their stance is on those things. Miss Kimber Snipes says, as a board member and community member, I would be concerned with how good are they putting together teams. Okay. Tony Johnson in the chat says, anybody who researched and follow OPS would probably not throw name in the hat given current state. $250,000 a year. Somebody
Right.
gonna throw a name in the hat. Mr. Kimber Snipes says, because you need a team to run the city. Yeah, who's building families and building teams to help the situation out? That's what a superintendent really needs to be doing. A team player with the rest of the staff. Marlon Harrison, who we know is in the school system, says a lot of fellow educators want Matt Ray because he's from the Omaha area.
Mm-hmm.
So he's speaking on that. A lot of educators want Matt Ray. Like I said, seems to be important if you're connected to the city some kind of way. So, Miss Erica Fell says, ideally, we need a well qualified woman of color who has some kind of tie to OPS. That'd be ideal. Kimber Snipe says, I would prioritize having someone with empathy over being from here. Same.
Man, chat's going off.
Yeah, man. Maggie Miller Jenkins says, good morning. She says, since they're making over 300K, okay, excuse me. I thought it was 300. I thought it was 250, 300K per year on our taxes. It makes one question, why there isn't more public input on such a large administrative cost.
I mean, that's been, again, a lot of the controversy and, the source of a lot of infighting from the board.
Yeah. Yeah. Ronnie Shield said, message?
Man.
Message? Yeah. For real. Yeah, it's going off. A Jamal Benden in the house. Good morning. Says,
peace.
Says, I went to lunch with Matt Ray twice at Panera Bread years ago, and he refused to eat with me even after I offered to pay for his lunch. That illustrates his racist mentality. You're drawing a big conclusion there on that one. Said, you can ask him if this was true. I was advocating for cleaning up the Human Relations Department when he was the director and in charge of nearly all people of color departments. Good information. Okay. Good information. Interesting.
Yeah, goes along with Miss Erica Phelps' comment saying, I think empathy is hard to gauge. You can clearly tell when someone doesn't have it, but many have pretended to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Clarice Jackson says, with the dismal literacy rates of black children, we definitely need to know the game plan and the importance of improving the literacy rates of our students amongst other key issues for us. Again, it's the superintendent role. They're the leaders. That's the leadership role. They're supposed to whip the team into shape in order to be able to help the kids better. What questions should you ask a superintendent candidate about what he's going to do about that? So we'll try to find the day of the meeting and see if we can get some folks out to it. Ms. Erica, Gwen Easter saying, what day is the time in the meeting?
There's two meetings. One coming up next Monday and then another next Tuesday, both starting at 5. The one on Monday is at Buena Vista High School on 56th and L, and the other is at the TAC building. So,
okay. Yeah, we'll put that in front of First Sky Omaha. We'll get it put in the chat here too. Appreciate that. I'm seeing the school board will then. Here, let's throw that one in first and see.
Yeah, didn't copyright.
Yeah, okay. Cameron Snipe says, no, I'm sorry. Let's go back. Jamal Benden says, where is the African American Commission on this conversation? We have 2 members in this chat. Clarice Jackson came right after saying, I'm hosting the National Black Literacy Matters Conference April 10th through the 12th at the College of St. Mary to start an initiative to address this as it's imperative to the trajectory of our children's society. Okay.
Yeah, that's directly connected to the preschool to prison pipeline, as we learned from conversations with Dr. Umar Ifatunde, that again, by the third grade, depending on, students' reading level by the third grade, predictions are being made whether or not they're, will end up in jail. And again, if you're below reading level by the third grade, according to reports, according to, studies, you're on the wrong track if you're behind the reading level by the third grade. So definitely a huge emphasis should be put on literacy.
Kimber is saying, talking about putting administrative leaders in a strategic way, put them together. She says, I'm saying that OPS is the size of a city. I'm not necessarily talking about team players. I'm talking about literally putting together your administrative leaders in a strategic way. Good question to ask them. How would they do that? Marlon Harrison says, I'm going to be at the meeting Monday at Buena Vista High School. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yep. So there you go. That's the public is speaking on this subject, and our every time we talk about this more and more, our concerns are being clarified. What it is that we think about this particular subject here. It'd be worth it for us to kind of dig in and see what the superintendent is supposed to be doing in the first place. I think Kimber Snipes is closest to to talking about that. What kind of how do you kickstart your administrative leaders and your team in order to make some change happen here? And we know what change we want to happen for sure. Of course, as Brother Kasim is saying, this is not going to be the end all be all, but it still is something that needs to happen because there's a lot of kids that's going to be going to OPS. Even if we had our own schools and of the private schools open, there still would be a need for OPS to really change up their strategy because everybody is coming back who's working with kids saying they're failing the kids, especially kids of color.
Yeah, especially bouncing back from the pandemic. Tony Johnson is reminding us of another report we talked about, and it's stemming from reading. Excuse me, stemming from reading levels. Again, Tony Johnson says it's predicted that only 50% of OPS current freshmen will actually graduate. And we know if students aren't graduating or even going to school, then they're out doing other things, and usually not things that are very productive for their future or for the community at large. As they say, idle time is the devil's workshop, if you will.
Tony Johnson is also saying strategically by splitting district up to smaller districts with one superintendent. Okay, it's an interesting strategy there.
Yeah, it is.
Could work. OPS is huge, big as the city. Budget is bigger than the city's budget.
So. Yeah, and to that point, they the Omaha World Herald article does make it a point to say how many students are in each of the district of the candidates. Some 50,000, some as large as 90,000. So again, it seems like they are putting emphasis on the size of the district and one's ability to lead a district that large. So again, we'll see. Opportunity to speak up, speak out.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody's comments on that. Brother Benden, one last comment says, in the history of Omaha plantation schools, has the district ever narrowed the gaps between students of color and whites? Has the racist research department shared data with our community? OPS will never educate our students on the same level as whites, and the lack of outcomes illustrates that fact. OPS is the same in the same situation as other big large school districts in all the other states, this is also happening there too. Narrowing that gap it seems to be getting wider, not more narrow, and the school districts are one of the reasons why we have such a segregated situation, segregated area. The schools are funded by property taxes. So if you are in an economically depressed situation and your schools are economically depressed and you got kids of color going to them, and they're just getting a different kind of education than white kids in white sides of town, in more affluent sides of town. I mean, there's a lot of factors here to that. And they're all over the place at OPS because of how big the school district is. So how do they navigate that? There's white kids go to OPS too, but as we talked about, it's mostly kids of color.
Yeah, and that demographic is again getting less and less diverse. If you remember, Bridget Fogarty, formerly of The Reader and El Perico, did a whole article on some of the white flight that was going on at OPS. So yeah, again, what is happening with the school district? What type of leadership do we need? And what does the future hold? So again, you will have opportunities to kind of see firsthand what these superintendents have, planned. So yeah, now you know.
Cameron Snipes is correcting me. She says, to clarify, the budget is larger than the city of Omaha's general fund, not the entire budget.
There you go.
Appreciate you making that clarification there. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have a special guest come in. Stay tuned. Tim Clark will be in to speak to us about an event and some other things, and then also a little later on in the show, we'll have artist Celeste Butler, that'll be in as well. So we're going to try to get to some of these stories in between these guests, and get, of course, keep on discussing it with you and get your ideas and your thoughts and your comments as well. We appreciate everybody that's joining in to have a serious discussion on the issues that are affecting our neighborhoods. We appreciate it very much. Stay tuned. We'll be right back at 7:44. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd. We'll be right back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you
Hey.
chat timers, ghost sisters, appreciate it very much. I got a question for the people. How many of y'all are on TikTok? Tell the truth. Who be up at 2 o'clock in the morning doom scrolling on TikTok? It happens. Let us know. We're always trying to find different places to meet people where they're at. And we cannot deny TikTok exists. How many people are on there? I know a couple of chat chimers personally that are on there that have several hundreds and thousands of followers on TikTok as well. So you guys are doing some work over there for sure. I went over there and checked out Sherman Wells, who has his own podcast, and he is over there on TikTok doing some things as well. So I'm like, yeah. Marianne Williams says I am. Marlon Harrison. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Yeah, let me know. I'm putting it out there. What social media platform do you frequent? We definitely have to talk about what's going on there. So
yeah, if you are on TikTok, check us out. First Sky Omaha on TikTok.
Well, we ain't quite ready yet, but yeah, we building up now for sure.
Yeah, y'all can go ahead and follow. So when that content drops, you get it.
There you go. Message.
Look.
I see Miss Cheryl Weston is in the chat. Appreciate you coming in as well. Let me see. I think I lost her comment there.
Let's see.
I'm sorry. Yeah, as long as schools are neighborhood based, you will have what you have. Very true. Kimber says, to why serious question, are you a part of Black Omaha? I hope so. She's you're speaking to somebody on
Tony Johnson.
Tony Johnson. Got it. That question stood out to me because we've been talking about what is Black Omaha? What is the Black community in Omaha? Where is the Black community in Omaha? Are we talking about a geographic area? Are we talking about the fact that there's people of color all over the city? So, yeah, interesting question to ask and to figure out, who we talking to. Who exactly are we talking to? There's, we're talking to a geographic area. There's more than just the Black community in all these areas. And is that the standout? Is that why you're attracted to what we're talking about here? When we say information and news that affect our neighborhoods, what neighborhoods are you guys thinking about when we say that? Definitely need to talk about it. Kimber says, I have enough followers on TikTok to go live. I just have zero clue what to go live about or even how to do it properly. You went live yesterday on Facebook. Same thing. You can do that. You can do that there. Appreciate everybody that's jumping in on this conversation. Buddy, you seeing something over there that's catching your eye?
Yeah, just kind of following along with some of the comments that you're acknowledging. Also, Miss Erica Felt saying that every night before I go to bed, but I don't post original content. I just go to learn and be entertained. Okay. Oh, well, that's valuable information too. Why are you on TikTok? And what are you doing there?
TikTok is very entertaining. I will say that. Very entertaining.
Again, I'm not a TikTok user. I'll be honest. I'm a little behind the ball on the TikTok wave. But again, we are trying to blast out and extend our reach with First Sky Omaha. Spread out some of the content and conversations that we're having here on the show and figuring out what's the best way and best location to do that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of reaching out to the community, we got a special guest waiting in the wings. Somebody who's always reaching out to the community and doing some things. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring on Brother Tim Clark. Good morning, Brother Clark. How you doing?
Hey, man, I feel good, brother. I feel good. I appreciate you, brothers, for this opportunity. First Sky in the morning.
Yes.
I appreciate you, brothers. Yes. Thank you for allowing me to come on for a minute here.
It's been a while since you've been on the show, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I've been checking you guys out. I love you stirring the coffee and being very pointed and conversation about things that matter. And so I really appreciate what you guys are giving and the commitment that you're making to keep communication in our community. So thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man, appreciate you. You do the same thing. You're in community. You're a media cat as well. We were just talking about your show on WOWT recently. You reach out and do a lot, and as a matter of fact, you're a part of a lot of the events that go on around here too. So yeah, we learning from you on how to be out
right
here.
On, man. Right on. Yeah, and hey, thank you so much. I'm honored, and really, I feel it's part of my calling, and to
Mm.
just what I've done for years in terms of the community. Sometimes you wake up and you don't really, understand your purpose, your gift, and I think I thank God that I can wake up and understand my purpose and gift,
Mm.
and I'm excited to do what I do. And so, again, gratitude, brothers.
Right on,
Yes,
man.
Gratitude,
sir.
brothers.
Yes, sir. It's a
Appreciate
beautiful
you.
thing.
So tell us what it is. What it is it that you do, and tell
Yeah.
everybody
Well,
who doesn't know you on our on our
okay.
chat here.
Okay, right on. Tim Clark, native of Omaha, Nebraska, graduate from Benson High School. So I do carry that mighty bunny seal, not
Okay.
just any kind of bunny, fellas, mighty bunnies. Okay. Don't get that twisted. Okay, Eagles, Vikings, all them Trojans that want to just kind of do what they do with bunnies. But I tell them all the time, you guys, bunnies. I don't care what you do to us. We multiply. We keep coming back at you.
We don't die, we multiply.
There you
We
go.
don't
There you go.
die. We multiply.
There you
So
go.
yeah, but yeah, man. So fast forward, just served in this community, for over 35 years, from the mayor's office to YMCA as exec, and right now I'm a director at Metropolitan Community College, where I serve director of youth forward and special projects, and just kind of just do what's necessary to help meet students where they're at and help to unlock their full potential. But it starts with meeting students where they're at and put
Hmm.
them on a path and help them navigate that path and that journey to reach their goals. And that goal could be a 2-year associate degree, it could be a 10 months or less micro credential, like a short credential,
Mm,
to get a skill. And I think we're in a very, very, I think, exciting time with so many resources, coming our way.
Hmm.
And that's really, I mean, right in our community, you have Metro Community College. And that's an opportunity to help us skill up the community because, we got these business, we got expansion, attraction, and retention when you look at a business strategy. But we got to skill up our community. We got to skill up our community. And this is the time for us to unite and look for common purpose. It's good well, you guys do it when you do it, but there's always agitators and always opportunities to poke at the bear. But I think this is an opportunity when you look at 240 million coming to North and South Omaha. I think it's time for us to find common purpose and common good and do the
Hmm.
work. And
mhm,
then 2.0, I mean, doing the work, celebrating, doing the work, and pausing and saying, how do we do it better? So nobody's
Hmm.
not talking about you give people a pass. I think we got it twisted there. It's let's do the work, let's celebrate the accomplishments and what has been really gifted in a way because people, I mean, you had the leadership of Justin and Terrell, as far as just really um, providing that vision and leadership to get that bill passed.
mhm,
Now it's time to, that's why you got two branches. You got executive and you got legislative, and
Hmm.
so the executive branch now says the governor and the Department of Economic Development is their job to distribute that. Now, did they do it all perfectly? I don't think they did. I think there's a lot of lessons to learn. But I tell you
mhm,
one thing, I think they did the best that they could have done. And I think people out there that wants to figure out how do you strengthen the process and make it better, that's we have time to do that. Let's do that so we can expect a 2.0 and not just a 1.0 where we just create so much disruption that it causes distractions.
Mm.
that we don't have another chance. I mean, in your lifetime, you two brothers, have you ever seen this magnitude and level of resource coming to North Omaha? I have not. I'm 59 years old. I have
Mm.
not.
Let
So
me jump in
it's a
real
beautiful thing.
let me jump in real quick and ask you a question on this. You said that they were doing the best. They did the best they could do on this. Were there mistakes? Yes, but they did the best they could do. Who's the they you're talking about? Is this the DED,
That's
the handling of the money that you're talking about?
I think everyone in this whole process, starting at the beginning. So they, meaning the senators, that first phase of really this whole process and how it
Hmm.
jumped off
Drafting
was
the bill.
really the Olson project. The
Mm.
Olson, and so the senators, they felt that there should be some kind of vetting process to really have folks submit an application. They hired a company and they paid them handsomely. This
Hmm.
was this is way even before it got to the executive branch side. The senators decided to do this process of Olson, and in that process, they arrived at a list of priorities in which they vetted and scored and said, "Hey, here's the people that should get funded." I believe
Yeah.
a whole lot of those folks got funded from that recommendation
Well, we're kind of skipping a
that
step.
had nothing to do. Hmm?
We kind of skipping a step though. Nobody's is anybody getting funded? First of all, second of all, the DED, who was in control of that money, they were using the Olson report in the beginning to say if you had a score on the Olson report, those are the people that we're going to talk to. But then they changed up the rules when they got a hold of it, and they didn't do exactly what the Olson report said to do. They used it as a recommendation. So I think there's a what I'm getting at is that I feel like I'm trying to. You've been a little kind of close to the situation. I'm kind of trying to pin down a couple things because it doesn't seem like it went very smoothly and everybody did
Okay.
the best they could, in my opinion, in the first place. So I feel like there was a lot of missteps everywhere,
Hmm.
and I don't know if the situation went as smoothly and as good as it could have went, just
Yeah.
because of all the
I
steps.
think, yeah, yeah. And those steps are important. And you gotta go back to the intent of the legislation in terms of just what they wrote and what's law.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so that's somebody voted on here's how it should go, right? I mean,
Right.
and so I think the DED, their first and primary responsibility is to carry out the law,
Well,
the language of the intent of the law.
that's the problem that
and
the
and
senators have, though. The senators are saying they're breaking their own law in the way that they're handling this money. That's the point.
I,
The senators are saying that they're not going with the intent of the bill the way that they wrote it in the first place. There's been some disconnect there, and not any communication there as well.
yeah, see, I think just like back in the day, it takes two, right? Communication is the key.
Mm,
And I'm gonna tell you, we're all big boys, and if there's some challenges, I believe with when you think about the level of intellect in terms of our two senators, the governor's office, and the Department of Economic Development. Come on now, we're talking about a big money bag, and a lot of money has been committed. And so, my point and personal opinion, where do we spend our energy
yeah.
Hmm.
now that this 1.0 has been public? The governor, he signed it. I don't want to put a shadow or a damper on 126 people that got awarded. There's some good projects out there that's got the money to be able to stand up and build infrastructure and capacity to have more impact. But
I,
yet and still, go ahead.
Uh,
Where we spend the energy, where we're going to spend energy on figuring out what if we wake up every day and say, out of that $240 million, how do we look inward and make sure it's spent in our community? That it's the priority is to look at hiring from within, black minority contractors. There's a lot of jobs that's going to be created through that money.
well,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that part of the accountability is let's ask each other now that we got it, what are we going to do with it?
well, yeah, and
And
I
what's
think
the oversight?
that's what's going on right now, and what we're understanding is that the majority of a lot of those millions are going to projects and organizations and nonprofit organizations that are not set up to create jobs, and that a lot of the jobs that were supposed to be generated here are
Yeah.
not going to be generated for that reason. So we are kind of looking inward
Yeah.
and talking to people
Yeah.
who are earmarked for that money. Let me jump out of this real quick because I would
Yeah,
rather.
I got about five, and you know I'm running, but I got about 5 6 minutes, man. You
Okay.
know what? I got to come back on because I just think
Yeah.
we do need to have real conversations about what we're talking about. But I would
Hmm.
love to do that.
Yeah. Well, let me
I'd
leave you with
love to do.
something.
But go ahead. But I wanted to just I want can I address what you just said?
Well, I didn't finish saying it
Let's
yet.
not
Let
real.
me.
You said something about not for profits.
Yeah, yeah. I was saying that
I
some
think
of
we're
the.
breaking up there, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Not for profits.
Right. Some of the.
Not for profits create jobs. I'm a small business owner too. You are too. Average small business owner is 3 to 5 employees. When you think about the jobs that, let's say, just two projects, the Malcolm X, $20 million, Charles Drew, 20 million, 10 million here and there in terms of this. There's a whole, and not on the not for profit side, from the construction during the project and after the project, you have some of these not for profits, they got way bigger budgets than for profit small businesses. That's what lift this country is small businesses mainly. But you can't tell me. I mean, I don't know how big Charles Drew's budget, but I know one thing: they got over 100 employees and over probably $15 million budget. They're creating economic development for our community. So I don't want to pit not for profit against profit. We do both. Let's do both. And 2.0, let's figure out a way to strengthen some of our small businesses and do more in that area. But there's a lot of good that's going to come out of supporting not-for-profits and even some of the churches. Those are jobs. What we should be talking about, how do we get ready and ready a workforce and construction folks to do the work? Let's
Yeah.
do the work.
Let
And
me.
as Terrence Glenn Crawford, his team would say, "Is what time is it?" He would say, Bomac would say, "You guys, it's work time. Let's go. Let's go to work."
I hear you. There's. I think that we'll definitely need to talk more about it. There's some definitely more discussion. There's specific nonprofits that we're talking about that got specific numbers of money that we've seen the plan, and the plan is not set up to provide jobs. And that's some of the people who are getting the biggest amounts of money. Some of us that got small amounts of money aren't able to add any jobs to our situation. There's more to talk about here, but the one
Right,
I
right.
really want to get into is to leave you with a question that maybe we can come back and talk about because I would like to know
Okay.
where MCC fit in this stuff. There's a couple questions I have about
Yeah.
MCC.
Oh yeah.
We talk about these programs, and I used to work at MCC, so I know that they've always had a problem reaching out to the black community and trying to get people in the black community to come and do some of these programs that you're talking about as well. They also got a big budget and a lot of money that comes into MCC. As far as the 1024 money is concerned, what did MCC get? What the money that they got? How is that correlating to how they're going to reach out to the black community and get more of our
Yeah.
youth in these
Yeah.
programs?
Yeah.
We can.
I think we should have that conversation. And I think you one of the things you would see, in terms of that allocation of money, MCC was not on that 530. We did go and it went direct allocation and funds straight from the state to MCC to focus on
Mm,
career forward. Some of the things I talked about, skilling up. We're looking at creating micro certifications, and when we call this career certifications as well. You got 38% of high school students are leaving school not knowing what to do. And so you're going to see a big effort and push by us to go grab some of those students that don't know, don't really have an idea of what they want to do yet, and put them in a skill up path.
hmm
But a lot of our money went straight to the students. We felt that we needed to look at how do you remove barriers in terms of when you think about tuition fees and books. That's
hmm
one opportunity there.
Yeah.
But as you know, there's a whole lot of life that's happening around attending college. How do you support students and their navigation of this crazy life of bills,
Mhm.
Right.
transportation, utilities, rent? So we're finding ourselves having to attract and go out and raise funds and use some of our funds to help support these students. Man, I know I
Yeah.
asked you to come on here to talk about
You can't
MLK
you can't come on here and
walking, and
you the one told me that you had something else
I know
you
it's
wanted to
too
get.
much. It's so much.
Well, listen.
But
Before we get out of here, I just want to give a shout out to the work that you're doing over there at MCC. I do see you working and trying to reach out to
I
the public.
appreciate you,
I
brother.
see I see you working with Johnny Rogers. Shout out to Johnny Rogers, who's given over $1 million in
Yep.
scholarships our youth to get into MCC. And then you do have this event coming up here that you wanted to come on and talk about, the Keep the Dream Alive
Yep.
event, February 10th, which is in 2 days.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
Where
That's actually
Yeah,
is
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
tomorrow?
tomorrow.
It's
Today's the
tomorrow.
ninth.
Oh, it's the ninth. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
a day
And
behind.
so
Okay.
it's tomorrow, and we're gonna be. It's a march and walk, and then we're gonna also have a motor coach there too, in terms of folks just don't want to walk.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Okay.
what's happening? We're moving from 20. We're gonna gather at 130 24th and Lake Street at 1:30. We're going to march to Pilgrim Baptist Church. I think it's about a mile. I've been in the gym lately, so I think I can. I'm gonna walk it. I'm
You,
not gonna jog it, but I'm gonna walk it.
you got your mile up.
And we
Uh,
Yeah, get my mile up. That's right. That's right. That's right. Man. Get that cardio. So we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do that. Our honorary chair is Johnny Rogers, awesome brother that's doing what it takes. He received $2 million. The foundation, the Jedward Foundation, turns
Mm-hmm.
those dollars, and so
oh,
a
okay.
lot of those. There's opportunity. That's what I'm saying. There's a whole lot of good that's going to come out of that. But here, back to the march, 1:30 gathering. We're going to start marching at 2. Now, if folks want to get up earlier at 9 o'clock, in partnership with United Way, partnership with kids, there's going to be a free breakfast at 9 o'clock in Building 22 on the campus of MCC, the Fort Omaha campus, and but it's a canned good drive. So bring canned goods, because Together Inc., a food pantry, we're going to donate canned goods or non-perishable items. So bring a non-perishable item with you for the march or for the breakfast. But we look forward to seeing this. We're going to have some elected officials. All of the elected officials have been invited, to my knowledge. This is going to be hosted by Pilgrim Baptist. Dr. Cedric Perkins is really, we're kind of co-leading this together, Dr. Perkins and myself, and just our keynote speaker is Richard Webb, the CEO of Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
He's
Mm-hmm.
our keynote. Entertainment by Jewel Rogers, spoken word. So, there'll be some short messages, but really, when you think about people say, why are we marching, right? I think, what's wrong with marching to celebrate somebody's legacy? To
Hmm.
stop and pause a day and say thank you. So we're going to have some young people that we're going to be recognizing, and some pillars of our past that really the shoulders we stand on. I think we don't pause and celebrate and say gratitude and thank you enough. So
Hmm.
that's what it is, man. I hope the community come out. I hope I see you two brothers. And
Hmm.
and and I tell you, there'll be some folks out there that you can communicate, network with, and ask some of those tough questions that you're talking about. I know
Mhm.
the mayor's been invited, the governor has been invited, and Councilwoman Juanita Johnson, both senators have been invited. So there'll be a mixture of a whole lot of folks there.
Well, we'll see if they show up. We'll see if
There,
if
there
the
you go.
governor and the
There you go.
mayor
But
come
but part of
through.
it, yeah, part of it is accountability too, and I think
Yeah. Hmm.
oversight, accountability, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, you pulled up and you got a description of what that money is supposed to be used for. I think we should have those conversations. We should interview people that got that money and
Hmm.
talk about really the impact. But I know some of the ones I talked to, um, um, they're looking at hiring folks from North Omaha, doing business with black contractors. I mean, so their intent is pretty damn good. So,
Okay.
but we're not in the show me state. We're in the good life. So we got to
Uh,
move to Missouri and say, hey, you know what? You can show me better than tell me, and we go. That's what you guys are for. I can talk this talk, but okay, show me, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Man, hey,
Real.
happy Super Bowl weekend. Go Chiefs.
Hey,
KC, the Chiefs. That's what I'm rooting for.
All
there you
right.
go.
Yep. Yep.
You
Sounds
guys
good.
good?
We good,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Appreciate.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Thank you.
hey, I was at that. Hey, was you guys at that Slick Rick concert last night?
No, man. I missed.
Man, I
Nah,
went to
heard
the
about
Slick
it. Heard
Rick
about it.
concert, man. Man, it was nice, man. A nice
Nice.
energy. And that's the kind of live music and live energy we need to keep that going. And Paul, thank you for really you kind of helping to get up and out in terms of Benson Theater and your work there, bro.
Thanks, man.
And live music and art and supporting artists is important, and we got
Yeah.
Yes,
to
sir.
continue to do that.
That's what this
Yes,
So,
sir.
season is all about,
so
man. The
but
creativity.
yeah, yep, right on, brother. Gratitude, thank you,
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Gratitude.
much love. Keep stirring the coffee, man. Keep stirring it.
Yep. Yep. We'll have you
And I
back,
need
man.
some. I need some music. I'm working on my album, man, my CD, and I
Okay.
know
Okay.
you two brothers got that gift. So I just put together a nice little instrumental thing, and together maybe we can create some words. And
Okay.
I'm ready, man. This is
Well,
2024
well,
is up and out and doing the kind of things to manifest the gift.
all right. Well,
Yes, sir.
dig deep down in them pockets and for a little bit of loot on that, and we'll be in the studio for you for sure.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, you know what? There's one thing, man. In kind is one thing, but you cannot create commerce if there's no exchange of dollars.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we got to exchange money and dollars and move away from the hook up. Let me get hooked in before you ask for a hook up.
Mm.
Let's
Mm.
make some money. Let's
I,
just, man, as one of my brother used to say, he said, man, just do business. Let's just do business.
yeah.
There you go.
You're speaking my language now. That's what's
All
up.
right.
Appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay, man. Much love, you guys.
Thanks, brother.
Peace.
Brotherly love. Right on. Right on.
Peace, peace, peace. Love supreme. Right on. There it is, Tim Clark.
Man.
Whew. Whirlwind of a conversation there. Appreciate him coming through. We'll
Yeah.
definitely have
Yeah.
him back.
Chat's
Sorry.
going off.
Yeah, sorry that I did not get to all your chat, your comments here, but I kind of got the gist. Like Mama Guy says, sounds like let's be glad for the crumbs attitude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I appreciate you guys coming on in. Remember, whenever we have a guest, you can speak directly to them.
Yep.
We're in use the chat as if we're speaking face to face. Appreciate the questions that you asked directly. Tony Johnson was asking, so what was the result of that money and efforts for Black Omaha? Yeah, some direct questions here. Mr. Cheryl Weston says, conversations are not getting us anything. Please keep on them because MC gets state and other money. Talking about MCC, nonprofits are not and will not make North Omaha financially strong. No financial losing the end of the conversation there. But yes, I definitely agree with that. I feel like that's why we got to bring up non-profits on this one. Nonprofits are generally yes, you can. There's a lot of people that are getting jobs through nonprofit organizations. That is very true, but it's not building economic development and wealth in our community to work for a nonprofit or to have a small business of 2 or 3 or 4 employees. The whole purpose of $450 million coming into the North Omaha, in my opinion, was for us to do a big shift, sea change of economic development in our neighborhoods, and it feels like more of the same, and more of the people who kind of, like, for lack of a better term, gatekeep that money in the first place. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys' sentiment. I'm kind of feeling the same way. I definitely want to have him back on so we can continue the conversation at the pace that we want to have it, and ask the questions, and really talk about it. Buddy, what was your take on the situation?
More so just listening, which is a big part of communication.
True that.
And what I heard Brother Tim Clark say, what I'm hearing is um actually something along the lines of what I felt in the past, as far as like, yes, the way this whole 1024 thing is playing out, because it's still early in the game. Like, we don't know who, got what
Nobody got no money yet, I don't think.
yet. You know what I mean? So we still don't know how this is going to play out. We still don't know what's going on with the Inland Port Authority situation. Also, if you kind of caught, he made a separation between 1.0 and 2.0, kind of alluding to the opportunity for more funds to come.
Hmm.
So again, none of this is over. Like, none of this is over. We're still in the middle of this thing. So there's still, kind of going back to Brother Tony Johnson's question about what is the impact. We don't know yet. I mean, it's still kind of too early to say that there won't be any impact. No, I don't think, again, it's playing out to this point the way we had hoped, or the way we as a community maybe had envisioned, or those of us who applied. We didn't necessarily get what we applied for and had hoped for. But at the same time, let's not let that distract us from opportunity. Kind of, I definitely agree with what Brother Tim Clark is saying, as far as what do we want to spend our energy on. What do we want to spend our energy on?
Yeah.
Because how much are we going to get DED to go back and say, you know what, y'all right, we'll split the money up this way? I think that decision is kind of already made. So
Right.
do we want to spend our energy complaining about that, or do we want to kind of look forward? Okay, what we got, what, over close to 100 businesses that got a $50,000. Um, how can these businesses help each other? Like, maybe
Hmm.
one of those businesses that got $50,000 is a marketing firm. Can all of the businesses that got $50,000 spend maybe 1,000 to 2,500 of those dollars towards marketing? And maybe that one marketing firm can fulfill those marketing. How can we work together as a community and make sure that, certain individual organizations all got $50,000, but how can we make sure that all of that 50,000 stays in our community?
Well, yeah, and we can do that. We can also worry about the 10 million that went to certain nonprofits that are also in our community, that are also
True,
affecting our community. Where is that money going?
true.
Black people especially are good at making something out of nothing. We can take 50 grand and do something with it. We can do something together. This is happening simultaneously, but we also need. But this is also the time to chime up on how things usually go when money comes into the community as well, because a lot of people getting shortchanged. A lot of people getting shortchanged. A lot of people had plans to do upwards of 1.8, $2 million, $3 million projects, hiring
Mhm.
6, 7, 8 people.
Right.
That's what their businesses could have done if the money would have been more than 50 grand. You know what
We
I'm
one
saying?
of them. We're one of them.
Right.
We're
So
one of them.
not being just happy with the crumbs either, but saying, listen, was this process fair? Who's controlling the dollars? The senators are still saying this thing ain't going the way we try. You're right, it's still going, and the senators are still saying it's not going the way it should have been going. Should be going.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
still making moves to fight on this on behalf of North Omaha receiving the funds they're trying to receive. So, and good questions about MCC too. This is the reason why I wanted to bring that up with him, because we always get the news the MCC is receiving millions. He just confirmed that they got money from the DED for a different program that wasn't the 531 money, different program, but a whole bunch of money comes in. He's saying that it gets to the students, trickle down to the students. It gets pays for people to be able to come to school. I used to work there, so I did see a lot of scholarship activity. going on, and people getting their bills taken care of so they can come to school. And they're also part of that 180 reentry program that we're doing the film on right now too. And they provide a lot of resources for people that are coming out of prison.
Yeah.
In order to go to school. There's still a little bit. There's always had a problem communicating with North Omaha though.
Yep.
The Fort campus is sitting in North Omaha, but we don't always have a whole lot of communication with North Omaha there. So they're working on that. But yeah, so it cannot be as simple as let's just look at the positives of this and make something out of nothing, figure it out. We also got to talk about the other part.
Yeah, and that's hopefully that's not what you're getting from what I'm saying as far as we look at one thing and not look at the other, because I'm definitely here for what's going on with OEDC. I'm definitely here for the questions about what's going on with the airport business park. Haven't heard much about what's going on with the supposed 20 million that's going to Malcolm X, 20 million that's going to Charles Drew. And yeah, once you do the math, you definitely see that about 3 organizations got close to 60% of the funds.
Right.
So those questions are definitely worth asking. But again, where are we going to spend our energy? Let's, focus on both. Let's focus on, fixing what's wrong with the thing, but also, what wins can we get out of this thing? What's right about it?
Yeah, very true. And yeah, we definitely got to do that. I think also, people are having some meetings about this. There is discussion going on. I was looking for the Willie Hamilton meeting that's coming up. Willie Hamilton says we will be scheduling a community meeting regarding the ARPA monies and how we can best support our community contractors, service providers, and small businesses. Thoughts? So he hasn't scheduled the meeting yet. He's asking for thoughts. We put it on Friends of First Sky Omaha. You can put your thoughts down there. And he's saying kind of same thing Tim Clark is saying. It sounds like to me like, let's have a meeting talking about the ARPA funds and how we can best support our community contractors, service providers, and so on. How can some of the money that is coming help our situation out here? We all wanted Charles Drew to get some more money. That needed to be something that they can shore up. They always need help. They always need help to make our main health provider in our city, in our clinic, the clinic in our city, to have more resources. Same thing with Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. If they're getting a certain amount of money, does that necessarily mean they're going to be is there going to be 10, 20 people being hired at Malcolm X? What if this thing is for jobs and for economic infrastructure, if they do provide paid jobs in situations like that, it's still not jobs that can generate wealth. It's not a company where you can make for-profit dollars and build your company into a situation where you are building a business like North End Teleservice is as big as the business is that, or a business that you can or any kind of development company around that owns property. We all know what we talk about when we talk about building wealth. It's not just getting a job and being able to have a decent living wage. It's about having a business that you can grow and get to the next level with, and how that helps the community. So we got to talk about it. Plus, we have the senators on every Monday, and they're the ones they're on the forefront of that fight. It's nothing that can be ignored on this particular show. We really got to talk about all of it, and including how the intent of the bill seems to not be followed in the way that it could have been, that it could be, because it's all happening now. So anyway, that's that's my take on it. Appreciate Tim Clark coming up and stirring the coffee like he says too. Man, appreciate everybody's comments here.
Yeah, chat's going off again.
Yeah, it seems like we're on the same page on that. Like what was let's get past that. Let's get past just trying to. We don't want to just placate what's happening either. We do want to also look at the positive situation about the money coming into our neighborhoods, because some money did come in. It's a positive thing if we can make something out of it. The positive is happening. It's also came in all messed up. That's happening too. These are both truths, and it doesn't make any sense to just dwell on one truth, the negative truth all the time. We can dwell on the positive truth as well, which is that there is a lot of money coming into the neighborhoods. A lot of businesses will get shared up if we can do like you say, figure out how to connect with that, especially all the $50,000 people. Never know. We can build something. We're good at making something out of nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, not just making something out of nothing. Like there are some people who Culture House got 2 mil for a pizza shop. We know young folk out here need jobs, and we know young folk out here need something to do. Who's talking to Brother Marcy about making sure we get some of our troubled youth to get a job, to get
Right.
something to do, to get off the streets.
Yeah.
There this is not just the $50,000. That's kind of what I'm saying as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. And again, when we're looking at exactly what this was for, how long do nonprofit organizations? This is something that I don't really talk about on the show, but the things that I learned about nonprofit organizations, they're there to solve a problem, and once that problem is solved, they're supposed to dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just supposed to have an ongoing nonprofit organization. You're if you haven't if your nonprofit organization has a mission to solve a certain problem, then you need to be working towards solving that problem. A lot of nonprofits are running as businesses that just are going to be perpetually open all the time, and never really solving the problem, but just getting a check. So that's tough. A business, for-profit company, can build some wealth and some growth, and can expand past Omaha and so on and so forth. It's a different situation. We got it's been a nonprofit town. There's been plenty of money that comes to nonprofits all the time. Foundations are making regular donations to these nonprofits every year. This $450 million was supposed to be for a different kind of economic development, the
Mm-hmm.
kind that builds wealth and business for people in the area. So we'll see. Man, uh, we got a lot of things being said here in the chat. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
chat's going
everybody.
off. You want to
Yeah,
acknowledge some of it, or
yeah. Please do. I see that our special guest is getting set up here on the side. So we'll come back in a few minutes and speak with her. Celeste Butler coming up. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, yeah, buddy, let's go through a couple things if that's popping out to you.
well, I see. I want to acknowledge Sister Kimra. She's in the chat. She says I'm trying to get some of that 10 for show. She says I'm going to try to get some from other places. Pardon yourself. And try to get some from other places as well. And then she says, when folks are trying to rally to be proactive, we'll step up to support. Again, talking about telling people to stop being reactive, kind of getting behind the ball. As far as a lot of these conversations should have been conversations that we had before the Olson report. Before that Olson application was even open, which is something that Kimra says that she was trying to do. She says, well, I tried to rally folks from the beginning. I mean, the summer of 2022, before the first app closed on 6/30/22. She says, I got a lot of O's and I's, but that's it. Not a lot of people really about that action, if you will.
Mm,
Again, yeah, this is something we definitely, should have been more prepared for. This definitely all feels like a reaction. And anytime that you're on the reactive side of things, then you're kind of behind the ball.
yeah, most def. Yeah. Appreciate that. Like I said, appreciate everybody's comments. I'm definitely gonna go back and check out everything that everybody said. Mama God in the chat, I'm seeing the focus at this point is twofold: maximize effectiveness of what was delegated and improve alignment to law during selection process. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. Like I said, nobody's got no money yet. We've been earmarked for some, but we're still up in the air whether or not we even going to accept it or we've been accepted with our change in our plan. So I mean, we don't know yet on anything quite yet. It's all happening now. So
We'll
we
see.
can, yeah. I can tell you from the personal standpoint too. We have decided to not depend, not to act like that money might not be coming, and move forward with business and the things that we're trying to do with First Sky Omaha, regardless of what's happening there.
Yeah, which
So
is a disheartening point to be at. Definitely with just kind of the high hopes that we have for this whole bill.
yeah, let's take a quick break and then we'll bring in our special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to First Sky Omaha, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Been up all night, very tired, so please excuse all my fumbling with the words today.
Man, feeling a little low energy. I'll be honest with y'all, but we're here to have a conversation.
We are here to have the conversation. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Again, thank you very much for joining us and adding to the conversation. I will definitely acknowledge your comments and come back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Celeste Butler Celeste Butler's in the house. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Welcome back. Listening to First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Buddy, he got his singing voice on today, man. I keep on making him hit that note.
Man.
Appreciate you, man. Got the Luther Vandross going on this morning. Even though hashtag kids be dirty, you're still coming with it. Still coming with it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and bring on our special guest. We will make her wait no longer. I'm not seeing the camera here, so maybe we just have the voice. Let's see let's see what we got going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, Celeste Butler. Miss Butler, are you there? Can you hear us? Okay, she may be still trying to work out what's happening there on that end. So let us know if you can hear us, and I'll keep my phone up so that if you need to let me know what's going on here, you can give me a text. Okay. So we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting on that and see if we can help her get on and talk about that. Oh, looks like she's back. Let's try it again. Good morning. Can you hear us? We got no camera, no sound on you. So let us know if you need any help trying to navigate turning that on. It should be in the settings. You'll be able to show your camera and your mic, just kind of like Zoom. So let us know. I don't know if you can hear us, but but let us know. I'm gonna have you off to the side there. You'll still be able to figure it out there, and text me if you need some help. Okay. I'll go. Right. We'll go ahead and let her go on that. I appreciate the patience on that. The tech is something else. We're dealing with it. Meantime, buddy, what you seeing?
Do want to acknowledge also another comment from Sister Kimmer. She says, I have also told Terrell that community should have known in the winter of 2021, talking about, again, LB 1024, although I empathize with his reasoning for why we weren't aware way before. So
aware of
LB 1024, again, talking about being proactive rather than reactive. And this is definitely something we're going to continue to talk about. So big shout out to everybody, for joining the conversation. But I guess while we wait, on our guests, we can jump into a few other stories that we had prepared.
Yep.
One second.
Who that peeping in my window?
There better be an emergency. 1 second. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah. Must be something going on there. We'll let Buddy go take care of that real quick. Appreciate everybody. Okay. Looks like Miss Butler needs some tech help. Okay. Let me see if I can get a hold of her. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going through some of the chat as well. So man, it's all going on right now. But we appreciate you hanging in there with us and being patient. Appreciate that very much, as a matter of fact. Okay. I'm not seeing where is this message coming in at? I'm not seeing it. Anyway, appreciate that very much. For you guys to just holding tight for us. Miss Erica Fell says a lot of nonprofits are to fill the huge gaps that government creates, so they likely will never dissolve due to capitalism. Kind of really just not the thing. I mean, it's just it's not what they're there for. They're not supposed to just perpetually be asking for money like every year that way. It's just there's some that are meant to fulfill a need that government is not, like you said, and as long as government won't, then they'll be open. But none of us there to build wealth in the community. That's the problem. That's really the problem. So I appreciate that comment, buddy. Why don't you go ahead and jump in there? Miss Celeste is contacting me right now to try to help her get on. So you want to go ahead and jump into what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Everything cool? Good over there?
Yeah. Not sure what that was about, but yeah, we're back. We're back, and as you see, we're live. So appreciate y'all again. Appreciate the comments and
Yeah.
okay. I honestly don't even know where I was going with what story I was about to jump into. We still?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought you was frozen for a second.
Mm-mm.
Um, I guess we got into. I don't even know, man. The stand your ground bill.
Okay. Well, what's the problem? I mean, you are you trying to tie it into what we're talking about? The what it was the next story?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That knock on the door just completely like they should know I'm working like that.
Moving on. Moving on.
Yeah. But yes. Not there's no really way to even tie in what we're talking about. To LB 1024. I mean, I guess
I,
bills.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's go back and do another rundown of the things that we were going to be talking about today, while I try to help Miss Butler in, and maybe
Yeah,
that'll trigger
yeah.
what you want to talk about next. Yep.
Yeah, I mean because well there's our several serious stories that we got to get into.
Right.
But the police shooting definitely something that's still on our radar to talk about.
As a matter
Apparently
of
there's
fact,
two
yeah,
police.
I'm sorry
Go
to
ahead.
jump in here, but let's talk about that because this is what I wanted to acknowledge what Kimmer Snipes was saying earlier. The reason why
Yeah.
she came on early yesterday on a live and was very emotional is because she was talking about what was going on with these shootings. And so yeah, let's definitely jump into that. We need to acknowledge what's been going on here on the South Side, especially. And if Miss Snipes is still here, I'd love to hear your take on this. So let's jump into that if we can.
Yeah. Earlier in the chat she was actually kind of sharing some personal experiences that she's had and saying no one cared when people were shooting it from my yard. She says, in my life, yesterday was really talking about how gun violence with black people in South Omaha gets ignored. Something that, again, we haven't really talked about here on the show. We don't really know about. So, again, thank you, Sister Kimber, for bringing this to our attention. She says, no one was up in arms about Keys getting killed in South Omaha or Pierre less than two months later, both black men. She also, excuse me. She also said they had the shootout on 60th and L a few weeks ago, and everyone went crazy. Um, Again, just kind of talking about some of the violence that goes on in South Omaha. Of course, the reason we started this show was because a lot of times North Omaha is talked about. It's almost always the violence that's happening in our community. But again, you don't really hear too much about that, at least to the same level in South Omaha. But yet we have this incident that apparently stemmed from a club fight where two men were killed by off-duty police officers in South Omaha. One of the two men shot and killed by off-duty police officers, according to a report. Apparently, fired a single shot at officers before they returned with 21 gunshots. Quite a bit, if you ask me. But again, coming out of World Herald, there was apparently a press conference yesterday. Omaha Police Chief Todd Schmatter was joined by Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert to tell reporters that in the community about the fatal shooting in South Omaha, in which they did announce that the officers will not be charged with the crime. And Chief Todd Schmatter said they acted in accordance with department policy. And Shamato did show a 17-minute video that spliced together security footage from the businesses near the area of 32nd and L with details from witness statements and interviews from the involved officers. Both Shamato and Douglas County Attorney Don Klein, of course, concluded that the officers' use of deadly force was justified after reviewing all available evidence. Excuse me. So this is very interesting because there apparently is a standoff, or not necessarily standoff, but a contention that's coming from a national Latino group. This being reported by the Nebraska Examiner. Group is calling for a federal investigation of the shooting. Apparently, they're not happy with OPD's internal investigation. National Latino Rights Group called Thursday for a federal investigation into the weekend shooting. Fernando Rodriguez Juarez and Jonathan Hernandez Rosales were the two individuals killed in the volley of 21 gunshots fired by two off-duty officers. Officials with the League of United Latin American Citizens, which is the organization, in a press release demanded greater accountability and transparency, something it seems like a lot of us are calling for, of what occurred, and expressed disgust that the two men's immigration status and police records were shared publicly. The Omaha Police Department's blatant attempt to vilify the character of the deceased Latinos is an affront to justice, according to Elsa Aranda, who's the Nebraska LULAC state director. Again, the League of United Latino American Citizens. An external federal inquiry by the Department of Justice is required, according to Aranda, who said to ensure that the truth prevails rather than accepting a prepackaged narrative that conveniently absolves those responsible, which is something that, quite honestly, we see a lot of times out of OPD. Going to the question that, Chris Baby Boy Bolin asks, who's policing the police? So again, very, very swift decision. A lot of times we see that. To my understanding, aren't these types of incidents supposed to go before a grand jury, or is that something else?
Well, that's been a constant with us. We always get the attorney to come in and make a judgment on some things. We can think all the way back to the Skurlock situation, where they'll be absolving police of all kinds of stuff way before a grand jury is there to talk about it. So that's unfortunate. That still has to happen. The article brought that out, that it still has to happen, even though they've been quote unquote exonerated of this. And yeah, I appreciate what the Latino group talked about here, because that was surprising to me, that it felt real political for them to go. And these are a couple of undocumented people from Mexico and Ecuador. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that got to do with anything right now? Not cool. So I want to acknowledge Miss Kimmerer. She says, in 2020, I had 8 people get shot in my neighborhood in one night. She says, I had a great meeting yesterday with North and South Omaha leaders. Appreciate that. My heart goes out to the Latino community. RG says, a single shot versus 21 shots. If that ain't a discrepancy, then I don't know what is.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, if you're shooting in the crowd, though, you can expect to get shot back at. Excuse me. Brother Pena says OPD.
Grand Island Police Department, GIPD.
Oh, okay. All the police departments, they all suck. They tried breaking into my home, no judgment or nothing done. Kimmer says we have a unique opportunity to talk about Black and brown relations and to unify North and South. Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah, appreciate that. She says we also have to recognize that there is a division in South. So the division that you're saying is between
who?
Right. She has made some comments about that there is Black people in South Omaha. There's always been Black families in South Omaha. And I've heard her say that sometimes she feels like the Black families in North Omaha are getting left out because everything is about the Latino community there, which are probably greater in numbers. But so she's always wishing for the solidarity, as are we. So yeah, this is a good opportunity to talk about that, because I think that especially when we look at mainstream media, which we do pretty much every day, what we see is if there's shootings, if there's trouble, if there's things going on, they talk about North Omaha. They don't really talk about South Omaha, and we don't even have any information on what they're doing there. Is there 360 meetings for South Omaha? You know what I'm saying? Is it being addressed? Kimmer has been very vocal about this and very emotional about these things, because it doesn't seem like anybody's giving any real attention to this. Stephen Abraham in the chat, good morning. He says the police shootings won't stop until the rule that states it is the policy of the Omaha Police Department that OPD officers will use only that amount of force which is objectively reasonable to take a subject into custody or otherwise bring an incident under control while protecting the safety of the officer and others. That's not their policy already?
Maybe he's saying until that rule changes.
Tony Johnson says, does anyone know why we rarely hear from the Black and Latino Police Officers Association on these incidents or overall crime? Brother Pena says, Latino, we have Black Latinos. Very true. We must unite. Kimmer says, can we talk about why captains aren't required to wear body cams?
Didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. Very interesting.
Yeah, if you have more information on, Guillermo Pena also saying, for real? Wow. Yeah, if you have more information on why that is, be interesting. Cheryl Weston also says, whenever Black and brown are involved, the victim's character is always demonized. Yep, we see that time and time again. See that time and time again. It's very interesting. In other news and related news, we didn't really talk about this, but there was another police involved shooting that is being handled quite differently. Actually, this out of Columbus, Nebraska, being reported by WOWT. Apparently, there was a 17-year-old boy who was recently shot and killed during an officer involved shooting. This happened on Tuesday earlier this week. Apparently, and Columbus police conducted a welfare check after a report of potential self-harm inside a residence. According to the WOWT report, officers contacted 17-year-old Chase Ditter, who was in possession of a knife. According to Nebraska State Patrol, one of the officers apparently shot Ditter during the encounter, and the other deployed a taser. Ditter was pronounced dead at the scene. CPD, or Columbus Police, have placed both officers involved on leave. But they did request an investigation into the incident to be conducted by the Nebraska State Patrol's special investigations team. The investigation remains ongoing. Again, I'm kind of drawing a comparison between the two incidents. It is very interesting that OPD kind of, investigated the situation themselves, while Columbus, of course, I'm sure it's a smaller police force, but they call for a different entity, if you will, in the Nebraska State Patrol Special Investigations Team to investigate this shooting.
Interesting.
Yeah. Again, I would definitely love to see outside entity investigate what's going on with the Omaha police, South Omaha shooting, not just the police themselves saying that it was justified. But it is concerning, as Kimra is saying, with this Columbus shooting, that this was during a wellness check. And you know how it becomes a situation where you're trying to stop somebody from harming themselves, and then you end up shooting them and tasing them.
Right. Yeah, 17-year-old at that.
Right. A young minor. And obviously that should have been a mental health check, not a gun and taser check.
Man. We don't usually, there's enough information out there in the mainstream media about some of these kinds of incidents, but when it is incidents that we feel like we need to bring up, this has to do with our community and the way things are done in our community. And, always thoughts and prayers to the families of victims and so on. But at the same time, this is because we're trying to figure out how we can try to get the police department to do something different, or, situations to be handled differently. There's a big article on the mental health officer. I think there's only one. There was one.
There's six. There's six of them. It's not many. Yeah,
one per precinct, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean one per district. So there's not a lot of resources to send out people for mental health checks. Everything really has to do with sending a police officer to every situation. And yeah, Miss Cheryl Weston said, put on paid leave, don't have to use vacation time. Whew.
Oh yeah, it's paid vacation. That's what it is.
And they're going on paid vacation after they've kind of been exonerated by the county attorney, or not county attorney. The who is it they're saying that they've been justified? That's the police chief.
Both police chief and county attorney Don Klein also weighed in on the decision.
Yeah. So even though they have a grand jury hearing that has to happen by law, they're on paid leave right now after Don Klein and the police chief are saying that their shooting was justified. So it is basically just a vacation. Paid leave
Paid
for
vacation.
what? What is the purpose? Yeah, what is the purpose for paid leave for officers like that are involved in some stuff like that? Is it mental health for them, so they can process having just killed somebody? What's kind of the reason behind paid leave every time something like this incident happens? Kind of want to ask that question now to the police chief or somebody.
I feel like that might be a union situation.
Yeah,
Something the
but for
union
what?
negotiated for.
Yeah, for what is the question? What is the purpose behind that? Whoever made it, the thing. Marlon Harrison in the chat says the fact that the Omaha police is bringing up the fact that these two brothers in South Omaha were in the country illegally makes no sense. It seems like agenda being pushed with that narrative. It's
Oh yeah,
definitely
I mean, it's part for the course.
definitely jumped on that opportunity to as we have a governor that's sending troops down to Texas to try to help them with the border. Real interesting that's here it feeds into this narrative. Here's these illegals over here, all these criminal illegals over here that are the problem. And sympathy to certain sectors in Nebraska, I'm sure, about these two brothers getting killed. Well, they're here illegally and acting up, so justified.
Right. So, man, thanks, Kimmer, for that suggestion. She says, read The Lost Sons of Omaha about the relationship between the county attorney's office and police department. Okay, something I have to educate myself about.
Yeah, that sounds interesting for real.
Yeah, man. But just about 10 minutes left. Not sure where we want to go. I know we have some haps we want to get into.
Definitely got some haps to get into. It is Friday. We got about 8 minutes left actually. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'm seeing Miss Celeste come in, and when I bring her in like this, she says she can hear us. She's telling me that over text, but we can't hear or see you. So I'm sorry. We'll have to try to have you on another day maybe,
Yep.
and we'll work offline to try to help you get your tech together for this. So you should be able to, if you're on your phone, you should be able to automatically just show your camera and microphone. So I'm really not sure what's going on. So I apologize. I wasn't able to help you during the process. We'll have you on another time and talk about the Nebraska Furniture Mart residency that we would really want to talk to you about. So
Yeah.
appreciate you very much, and we'll get back to you when we can. Like I said, I'll give you a call during the week, and we'll try to figure out your tech so you can come on and talk to us. Thank you for trying, though. Appreciate you getting up this morning and trying that, and apologize to the listeners that we weren't able to get our guest on this time around. So. But yes, lots of things to talk about, and we definitely want to jump into some haps. This is kind of the time that we should do that, really. So if you have haps, I mean, I keep on forgetting, man. I'd be trying to like carve out some time on Friday at the end of the show.
Yeah.
If you got any haps, please let us know about some of the things that's going on this weekend that you find interesting. Tim Clark came on a little earlier with his haps. It's the Keep the Dream Alive march that's happening here tomorrow at 2:00. He says be there at 1:30 on 24th and Lake, and they're going to march to Pilgrim Baptist Church about a mile up. And he also talked a little bit about a breakfast at 9:00 as well. I missed where he said that was going to be at. But there's a breakfast at 9:00 too. But this is the march he's trying to get everybody to come to. He's invited all of the senators and the governor and the mayor and everybody. So we'll see who shows. You can see at the bottom, there's lots of support for this, lots of sponsors that are behind this. So they're also pushing the word out to go out there and do this. If you're part of this organization here or part of the church, part of what they got going on here. Any of these organizations here, I see North End Teleservices there, Stable Grace, part of it, 95.7 The Boss, Omaha Star. So
Charles Drew.
Yeah, Charles Drew. So we got a lot of support for this, and let us know if you plan on going. But yeah, that's tomorrow, 24th and Lake. You can meet out there and see what's happening, and go for it.
Yeah, going to Pilgrim Baptist Church.
That's one of the major haps that is going down. As far as we're concerned, of course, we have our event coming up, not our event, but the event that we're a part of, the Black Power Conference. That's coming up next week. So put that on your calendars for the 17th and 18th. This is brought to you by the BAA and Untamed. and it's going to be held at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation from 1 to 5 on the 17th, and then Restoring the Black Family 1 to 4 on the 18th. A 2-day event happening at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. Definitely check them out. There's a new flyer coming out for this soon, as far as what I heard from Brother Kasim, and we'll be looking at that and seeing how we can support going to this one. Appreciate that very, very much. Also, Kimmer's in the chat saying One Omaha can be your fiscal sponsor. Yeah, we need to holler at you on some of that.
Above that, she was reminding us the Omaha Community Foundation has a grant that's going out for community organizations and businesses.
Got it. That sounds good. Omaha Community Foundation. That's what's up. Yeah, appreciate that very much. You said you're going to KC this weekend. Okay. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate you getting us giving us that information. I don't know who's going to be applying to the Omaha Community Foundation for that grant, but as you can see, we have a chat chimer, Cameron Snipes, in One Omaha that can help you navigate through that, and also be your fiscal agent if you need one. So if you're in the need for some funds on that, definitely look into that. Omaha Community Foundation has stuff all year round. And there's a lot of funds there. As a matter of fact, the African American Unity Fund that they host, they said that they're actually putting that in the hands of our neighborhoods to say where that money ought to go. So there's some things to look into there for sure.
Yep, the application closes March 1st.
Got it. Let's see. Benson Theater has the On Writing Presents coming up. Works of Kim Louise. This is happening February 13th. This is happening next week as well. Definitely, this is going to be a pretty interesting event. Check out the works of Kim Louise. You know, we love to support our writers out here as well. This is going to be a great series Benson Theater is putting on. Go to bensontheater.org for more information and tickets on that one. Appreciate that very much. And Wanda Lou says, I do have respect for nonprofits who assist in their own fundraising for sure.
Word.
Kimber said they got buckets of grants. Okay, that's what's up. Appreciate that. Let us know if you have any haps. If there's anything coming up, go ahead and put that in the chat. We really appreciate everybody who has been a part of what's happening here. We have a February 12th event coming up at the Omaha actually Stillhouse Omaha. This is in the Hip Hop Lab series. They've been doing this for a while here at Omaha Performing Arts, and this is going to be Culture Talk. My Pen is Dope. And featuring all-female panels, Adika Poindexter, Tyler Music, and Michelle Trosclair, all lyricists and wordsmiths. It's definitely going to be about the pen, the power of the pen. Check this out. Go to omahaperformingarts.org and get your tickets for this at the Steelhouse, February 12th at 7:30 p.m. Michelle Trosclair going to be there talking. That's what's up.
Getting down.
Buddy, anything standing out that you kind of feeling like we got some haps that are important that we're forgetting about that we need to be talking to people about? I can't think of the ones that I had in mind though. So
reminding people that next week the superintendent situation is yep, that's right around the corner again. Monday at Buena Vista High School. That's 5616 L Street, I believe. At 5 p.m., you'll have the opportunity to kind of get closer, up close and personal with those 4 superintendent finalists. And then the next day at the TAG building at 5 p.m., you'll have the opportunity to kind of ask some questions and interview the superintendents as well. So especially if you have young folk or if you're working with the young folk in OPS, this would be a good opportunity to kind of have some, impact on this whole superintendent search.
There you go. Also, our partner over at the OEAAs is having the 18th annual Omaha Entertainment and Awards ceremony. It's going down on the 18th of February at 6:30 at the Holland. So go to oeaas.org, get your tickets there, and definitely, or you can go to the Holland, you can go to Omaha Performing Arts to get your tickets there as well. Get your tickets and go check out the 18th annual Omaha Entertainment Awards. See if the people that you nominated and voted for are going to win. It'll be interesting to see. And there's also a very nice lifetime achievement award situation that they do here too. That they're putting together now. It's going down. So yeah, support your local award show. This is how you get the word out on everybody who's doing art in our city. It's a very important thing to do. I figured this out this past year, how important a local award show is, man.
Yeah.
Just acknowledging and giving awards and giving flowers to people while they're doing good work here is always important anyway. But this really puts some folks on the map. people have gotten record deals and stuff like this over being OEAA award winners.
Big time.
Big time. Appreciate that very much. Jumping back into the chat. Thank you, everybody who's been giving us some feedback here. If you have any haps, go ahead and put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We'll put more in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. I see that there's some big conversations going on here, and we'll have to go back and take a look at that. So please take a look at what's going on. Matter of fact, I do want to jump into Tamika Renee's comment here real quick. Appreciate you. She says, good morning. We have implemented South Omaha Community Partnership due to families feeling there is a lack of resources and coming to NOCP. I think we should meet to pose the question that I'm seeing and have discussion and have our voices heard. I see so many times when something happens, our community talks amongst themselves and nothing really happens from that. I hear the question about what is 360 doing. 360 was designed to address North Omaha issues, but has taken steps to work with South O organizations and individuals to work towards a solution. Okay, this is the first time I'm hearing that. I've actually heard that they weren't doing that, but I appreciate you letting us know they do. She's saying, I would pose the question of what is Simple Foundation doing? As it seems they are in the heart of the storm and not giving refuge. Interesting. Lots of conversation here. I suggest you go back if you miss any parts of this show and watch it in its entirety on Facebook and YouTube, and definitely on YouTube where a lot of this conversation is happening. Go back there and read the comments. Continue the conversation right there in the chat if you want to. And also, you can also continue the conversation over at Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page on Facebook. I appreciate everybody who is joining in here. I wish that we can go further with this and dive deeper. But we'll have to save this for another day. This is something we might be able to pick up on Monday. Don't forget the senators will be on Monday. Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne will be on Monday. Also, Brother Kasim will be on Monday. And then also we're trying to lock in Brother Sherman Wells on Monday too. Give us some updates on a few things as well. So stay tuned for that show, and we'll definitely join you Monday. What's on your mind, buddy? You over there nodding off? What's happening? You good?
No, I'm here. I'm here just kind of looking at the comments. Sister Tamika is kind of going back and forth. Brother Steve Abraham is responding, talking about the Simple Foundation. So just go back in the chat, check it out, y'all.
Yep. Lots of things, lots of conversation going on. We appreciate everybody who's doing that. Thank you.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and get out of here, though. It's already past 9 o'clock, which is our agreed upon time to shut it down. You'll have to join us Monday when we can continue to talk on some things for sure. And we'll really appreciate everybody who's joined in on this and keeps on encouraging us to continue with these discussions.
Thank you.
The discussions are not just discussions. They kind of lead to action, which is kind of the natural progression for that. So we are always talking about trying to help people, get together, put boots to the roots and get down on some stuff and, ask the hard questions. Let us know who you think we ought to have on to ask questions. We'll keep on reaching out to certain people in order to get them on to talk, to have some things to discuss and really get down to the bottom of what's happening so we can know how to act. And that's where we're at right there. That's what we're doing here. So appreciate it very much. Let's go ahead and get out of here, buddy. You got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. As always, appreciate the love and support that we receive from all of y'all, the understanding, even though, sometimes we have technical difficulties like Sister Celeste Butler not being able to get on, just the support. We appreciate it. We love you. We thank you. Hopefully we will continue to receive that support. And hopefully next time, we can do just a little bit better. So in the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo. Appreciate it, man. Rome's Reviews. Mayor Sanchez says, have a blessed weekend, everyone. Appreciate that very much. Yep. Pop says, thank you for the outstanding shows this week. Have a great weekend and see you all on Monday. Appreciate you, Pops. Who did that? You did that?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Is tech automatically doing stuff now? That's appreciate everybody who joined us today. Yeah, what a day for sure. Yep. Adios, Brother Pena. Appreciate you. We'll see you Monday, y'all. We're going to shout out to Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to the chat chimers allowing us to speak with you and hanging in there with these conversations and so that we can try to get to some forms of action on some of these things that are affecting our lives. We really appreciate everybody's input and everybody's knowledge and research and everything that you do in order to help facilitate these conversations and we'll pick that up on Monday. Again, we'll have Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne on Monday. Also, Brother Kasim and hopefully Brother Sherman Wells on Monday as well. So stay tuned for that. If over the weekend, if you have more that you want to check out, then definitely check out this show, the chat. Add to the chat. Go to Friends of First Sky Omaha and engage there. That's where we're at when we're offline. And we really appreciate everybody who has done that so far and joined in. Also, we're going to have a big we're going to have a big fundraising rally coming up here so that we can kind of continue on with what First Sky Omaha is doing. We kind of casually mention from time to time, if you care to donate, go to firstskyOmaha.com and hit the donate button. But we do have some memberships over there where you can be a $10 member, a $25 member, a $50 member. Shout out to the people who are that already. You over here playing? Look.
Yeah, my bad.
You over here playing around. Look. Somebody knocked on the door, now you over here shuffling the deck. Wanda Lewis said, great show. I said what I said. That needs to be the end of how we end every show.
Man, I said what I said.
Paul B, I said what I said. Appreciate you. Let's get on out of here, man. You guys have a good one. Take care of yourselves this weekend. Stay dry. It's supposed to be a little bit wet. But for the most part, the weather is going to be pretty decent. So
there you go.
Enjoy it. We'll see you Monday.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad with the key. By any